Hey Daniel, we can absolutely slow this one down a bit. A bit of a head scratcher because of two things in my opinion. Number one, we have to use the LCD trick, which MyMathLab admittedly doesn't do a great job of showing you that, so I'll explain that. But also look right here under this denominator. This is super weird looking, this 1 minus x squared. Technically in math, this is correct because the variable is negative. The x squared is negative, so it's okay to write that second. But really, here's what I would like to do. Let's zoom this in a little bit. I'm going to focus just for now on this solution. And really what this is, if we think about just the bottom part, really this is like negative x squared plus 1, right? So that's, that's a thing. It's over 9x. But this doesn't help us. This is not a difference of squares. There's nothing to factor out here. So what we have to do is we really have to factor out the negative here. So this is going to be negative. I'll leave the 9x up there. This is going to be negative x squared minus 1. So what I've really done is I've just factored out negative 1 from the denominator, and that negative just comes up. The whole thing now becomes negative, right? Basically, that's what's going on. Now, this is going to be negative 9x. I can really think of this as, either the numerator or denominator being negative. So I'll fire that up, and we'll go ahead and factor our differences of squares, x plus 1, x minus 1. Okay, so really, all that being said, we did all that work just to replace this right here with this, x plus 1, x minus 1. Or write the minus first. The order doesn't matter here. We're multiplying. Once we're there, we're going to do the LCD trick. So just give me a sec, and I'll show you that. I'll break it down a little bit. So, okay, so this is going to be our LCD because x plus 1 divides into x plus 1, x minus 1 divides into that, so that's cool. That's going to be our LCD. Our LCD equals x plus 1 times x minus 1. So what I'm going to do is we're going to multiply every term by that LCD, and I'll write it right out just to show you what that looks like in depth. Okay, so just bear with me here. Feel free to skip the video if you want. I'm just going to write things for a minute. That's going to be times our first term. Our next one, I'll write that out, x plus 1. I know this is probably like very engaging right now to watch me do this. And remember, this is a negative, right? I missed that, negative. Okay, done. So notice a couple things. Notice I'm just writing these in anywhere, like I'm not being super kind of specific with it. And number two, we're just going to cancel a bunch of stuff. So we have x plus 1 over x plus 1. That's gone. And now I'm left with, and don't try to you can try to FOIL this out right now or distribute. Don't even do that. Just leave it as 3 times x minus 1. That's how I would do it. Then we'll do that on our next step. We'll distribute and combine like terms. Over here, I'm going to write my minus sign. X minus 1 is going to cancel with x minus 1. And we have 9 times x plus 1. Equal sign. And here, all of it's going to cancel. We're left with negative 9x. Don't miss that negative, or we'll get it wrong. Our next step now, we can just distribute. Combine our like terms up and solve for x. We're kind of just back into straight ahead algebra land here at this point. And I suspect you'll be fine with this part. Negative 9x. We'll be very good. We'll combine our like terms first. Now we'll get all of our x's to one side, so I'm going to add 9x to both sides here. That will cancel. And I'm also going to add 12 to both sides just to bring that over. That will cancel. So I'm left with 3x equaling 12. Divide her out. You know the deal from there, right? X equals 4. So there we go. That's not the hard part. Once we get to this point here in red, once the LCD trick has been applied, it's just straight ahead, distribute, combine like terms. Again, watch for that. I'll erase what I covered over there. Watch for those tricky parts here, because usually there is a negative that you can factor out, and then it'll make everything on this side of the equation a negative as well. So don't forget to carry that through as you go through. Hope that helps, buddy. Let me know if it doesn't.